You're my hysterical, lyrical, metaphorical miracles are the pinnacle for lyricists who spit with a different tune. And if this is you, then listen too, cause this is the vision through the retinas of an adult who's blessed with a different view.
YouTube, salute. All right, y'all, I'm back, King Kofi, once again, and I'm here with a topic from one of my subs, Girubo, Sukayara. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. He said, what would happen if Tupac didn't die? Would the rap game be different today? So that's his question. And like I said, any of my subscribers, if you want to ask me anything for me to do a reaction to it, like a topic, let me know. More than just, you know, it has to be music and stuff. It can just be like, hey, Kofi, talk about this, talk about that. What you think about this? And I will always do a video about that. So before we begin, if you're new to my channel, thumbs up the video, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. Also cast your vote for Kofi's Universe Hall of Fame Southern rap groups. Nominate your top 3 rap groups from 1990 to 1999. The link is in the description. And check out new interviews with Kambada and Loaded Lux. A collab interview together, K Reno, Jaja Soze, and Ari the Rugged Man. Let's go. So, if Tupac would have never was never murdered in 1996, first of all, Death Row would have been on top still at that time. They wasn't going to take no fall, regardless of Snoop maybe even going to No Limit, Dr. Dre, you know, starting his Aftermath record label, getting that off the ground. Death Row would have been on top because Tupac alone was like, they had the lion's share of all the record sales and everything they was doing. Of course, we had Dog Pound. Of course, we had Nate Dogg. Of course, we had Lady of Rage. Of course, you had all these other hits, but Tupac was taken into another plateau. Then he had the Outlaws right there, and he was going to be supporting them, and he was going to be being featured on their albums, and you knew that shit was gonna blow. So let's start with some artists I feel like would never made it big, or they would never maybe reach their the pinnacle of their career if Tupac was still living. Jay-Z dropped Reasonable Doubt in 1996. Classic album, I'm not gonna lie. Jay-Z would have never been where he at right now to this day, because Tupac would have been on his ass. He would have been murdering his ass as far as on the lyrics. He would have been just on him. And Memphis Bleak, he would have been a casualty also. He would have made sure that, well, since you riding with Jay-Z, you're collateral damage. Biggie Smalls. I feel at that time, if Biggie still would have, let's say, if Biggie would have died still, like, I mean, I know he's dead, may he rest in peace, rise in power. If Biggie still would have passed away, I think Tupac would have put his energy on the Lox, but I think the Lox would have embraced that beef and they would have took it there. Let me share a quick story with you. A lot of people don't realize the reason why Junior Mafia never actually dropped more albums together, because Biggie knew that he needed a super group that was going to actually combat the Outlaws. That's why Puffy got the Lox, Black Rob, Mace, because on a lyrical level, they was going to bring it to the Outlaws and Tupac. It was going to be like a lyrical war. So a lot of people don't realize that. Now the Lox, I still think they would have been who they are because of the Rough Riders, you know, momentum with DMX and stuff, but I felt that they would have gave Tupac a run for his money, because they wasn't gonna turn down no fade on the microphone. Wu-Tang, they still would have been doing what they've been doing because Tupac loved Wu-Tang. We ain't worried about that. Mobb Deep, I still think Mobb Deep would have blew up. They would have still been doing what they've been doing. I think Tupac still would have been putting his foot on Prodigy's neck. May, you know, rest in peace to Prodigy. I still felt that they would have been, you know, taking more shots after more shots. And remember, Mobb Deep had a lot of diss tracks in the cut. They just never released. Redman, Tupac was cool with. Boot Camp Click, he did the One Nation album. Tupac did the One Nation album with Buckshot, Coco Bravas, Smith and Wesson, you know, so that was all love right there. Mike Geronimo, Tupac was tight. And if you didn't check out Mike Geronimo interview last month on Drink Champs with Nora, he talked about how him and Tupac was super tight. I still think Tupac would have actually been working with a lot of underground artists. He would have been working with them. He would have been actually trying to, like, people that was actually just cool, not trying to get in between, the beef between, Bad Boy and Death Row with him. Because it really wasn't no Bad Boy versus Death Row. It was more just, if you riding with Biggie or you riding with Junior Mafia and them, F you too. Or Chino XL, I felt that he wouldn't probably did too much because Tupac really didn't care for him. Bone wouldn't did. They would have still been Bone because Tupac loved Bone, so he was cool with them. CNN, Capone and Noriega, they would have been. I think Capone and Noriega still would have been putting out hits. I think they would have been taking out more shots because they probably felt that they riding with Mobb Deep to a certain degree, and then Tupac probably was like, okay, I'm gonna take some shots at them. Eminem. Tupac would have put his foot on Eminem's neck. I'm telling you right now. Eminem would have been actually taking some. He probably would have made diss records at Tupac, but Tupac would have probably put his hands on Eminem sooner or later. He would have whooped his ass, and the Outlaws would have came for Eminem. 50 Cent and Ja Rule, I don't think they would have embraced that I got shot and that thug mentality so hard because Tupac would have been like, what the hell y'all trying to do? Y'all copying my style. Nas, I believe Nas would have eventually had to diss Tupac. He would have had to take some shots at Tupac because Tupac would have continued to drop diss records after diss records on Nas, and Nas would have had to take some shots. Now, it could have been different how Nas dropped Ether towards Jay-Z in 2001. He probably would have made an Ether towards Tupac. That would have been very interesting. Outlaws, I felt that would have been a group that would have been beyond what they could have been now. They would have been on a different level. Fatal Hussein Fatal, may he rest in peace. Yaki Gaddafi, Tupac's cousin. I think they would have been putting out some bomb-ass hits. Rick Ross. It's hard to say because we don't know if he would have just been like, neutral, Tupac would have been cool with him. Nipsey Hussle, I think Tupac would have embraced him. And YG, he would have probably been doing songs with them. Like, yo, man, these some young cats coming out. I think any LA artist that was just cool, down to earth, Tupac would have embraced that. He would have embraced that as long as they wasn't trying to take shots at Death Row or the Outlaws and shit. Kendrick Lamar, yes, that's another artist Tupac would have probably put on his wing. Like, yo, come on, man, come do this. Lil Wayne, I think Tupac would have shut Lil Wayne down quick because he probably would have been like, oh, you fake as hell. You ain't no real blood like that. Dead Prez, I can believe Tupac doing songs with Dead Prez, yes. West Coast would have been on top. No disrespect to the East Coast, to the South, and the Midwest. West Coast would have been reigning supreme. They would have been reigning supreme by far. Griselda, I think Griselda, Tupac probably would have wanted to do some stuff with them because as long as they wasn't trying to get involved, like trying to side with whatever, I think Tupac. But if Tupac did take shots, they would have probably took shots right back. So that would have been very interesting. Any other artists I feel from that? I just feel that, like I said, the rap game would be different. A lot of people like Tekashi 6ix9ine, the Baby, a lot of artists with that weirdo music. I think they would have been scared to drop because I feel that they knew that people would have called them out. Like, what the hell is this? And then Tupac, like I said, he was dropping conscious music. He was dropping music for the thugs, dropping music for the people in prison, dropping music for the people that's actually, having hard times, facing depression. That music still would have resonated. It still would have been like, damn, Tupac still has music. It's a variety for everything, for different people. And I just feel like Tupac, he was just getting started. Like, really, people thought that was the best Tupac. I think not. I think that was actually Tupac just scratching the surface. I think he was going to probably do beyond what he was going to do. Tupac, like I said, people are like, oh, Tupac and Biggie would have maybe called a truce. It's hard to say. We don't know that. But I know that Tupac was going to put his foot on Bad Boy Records. Like the record label, he was going to go after whoever was on there. So he was going to go after Mace, The Lox, Black Rob, Shine at that time that came out in 2000. He was going to go out him. G-Dep. He probably would have been making songs at 112. Faith Evans, I mean, you already said what he said about her. So he was going to continue to go at them. Little Kim, he was going to go at her. Mobb Deep, like I said, Chino XL. The list goes on and on and on. He was going to make songs at anybody that had a problem and he felt that you was riding with them and you take a shot at Tupac, indirectly or directly, he was going to actually fire a damn cannon at your ass. I feel that Tupac, you know, he would have made sure that there would have been unity, like as far as like a lot of artists that he was already working with, and you would have saw a lot of collaborations, especially like I think a lot of underground groups that Tupac was already feeling. Like a person like Mike Geronimo, he never blew up so big to go gold or platinum. Tupac would have had him like on an album, like, oh yeah, come on, I'm gonna put Mike Geronimo on the album, or maybe like the Lost Boys or something like that. Or he probably would have did like a song with Buckshot on an album in 1998, for example. Like, oh shit, Buckshot and Tupac, and everybody knew about Buckshot already. That would have made Buckshot, when he dropped another album, Black Moon, go gold, go platinum like that, because it would have just been love. Like that's just how Tupac got down. Tupac was just, you know, like a loyal dude. Like, hey man, you was loyal like that. You was always riding with me. I'm gonna ride with you. I just felt like if Tupac didn't die, we just saw more classic movies besides Poetic Justice, Above the Rim, you know, and Juice. You would have saw more classic movies. We would have had better albums besides All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli, Me Against the World, so on and so forth. Great projects with the Outlaws and Tupac. Great messages. I mean, I felt that Tupac probably could have ran for governor. No, for real. Y'all might be laughing at me. Tupac could have probably ran for governor and probably won, because his political stance and where his mind was at, people would have supported that. Like, damn, Tupac running for governor, and Tupac would have did everything he could to help the people, maybe in the state of California. He would have like, damn, Tupac really trying to help us. So something to think about, y'all. I think the rap game would be so different as far as like how the West Coast would have been running at the top, just on diesel fuel. But at the same time, I think Tupac would have changed more lives, not just in the community, but throughout the United States and globally. I think he would have probably been working with artists in Africa. He'd have been working with artists in the UK, Spain, Brazil. Tupac probably would have been trying to search for more talent that we probably would have never knew. So y'all let me know what y'all think. How do you feel about if Tupac didn't die? And would the rap game be different today? Post your comments below. Hulk smash Black Panther the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I upload new content and go live. If you want to support and donate to the channel, I have Patreon. Patreon.com/KofiUniverse. Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Streamlabs, everything's in the description. Until next time, salute and Black Power, y'all.